Today, gaming is becoming a hobby for only rich people.
I built a secret gaming room in this Mercedes Maybach.
First they hit the parents with live service games.
Here's my mom's credit card.
Today we'll be going over 5 times kids stole their parents' credit card for Fortnite.
Then they slowly rolled out the $70 price tag. Next it was $80, then $90, and hardware prices aren't any better. And the craziest part of all of this, it's all happened before. Osaka, Japan, 1990. Nintendo is the biggest company in home gaming, while across the street, SNK is the top company in arcade games. At the moment, both live in harmony, but everyone knows home gaming is the future. SNK is the leader of a dying market. The clock is ticking. They need to act fast. They dip their toes in the water by making games for Nintendo's home console, but it doesn't sit right with their founder, Akichi Kawasaki. You see, if they're gonna go out, he wants to go out with a bang, not whimpering and making games for someone else's console. Then, Mr. Kawasaki has an idea. Sure, Nintendo has a nice price tag, but look at their system's graphics. What even is that? In terms of image and sound, arcade machines are light years ahead. So how about we just take the inside of one of those, and without worrying about the price, put it in a box on store shelves, just to see what happens.
You can start a game in the arcade and finish it at home.
It's called the Neo Geo AES. Gaming Press look at the price tag. This can't be right. $650 for a children's toy? That's $2,000 in 2025 money.
Astounding, right?
And that's not all. The games cost more than the competitors' consoles, but it works. Much better than expected. You see, the American director of marketing, Kent Russell, decides to sell it as the premium product. If you're looking for a baby toy, go elsewhere. While Sega's saying they do what Nintendo don't, Neo Geo is drone striking both of them in their commercials.
There's no stopping us now.
And tell consumers to go ahead. Buy those cheap baby toys from Nintendo and Sega. Neo Geo isn't for brokies anyway. In an interview with Kent Russell, he says, "Our particular market demands quality. Our market is a 25 to 35-year-old, affluent adult male. They're looking for quality. These are the guys driving BMWs, wearing Rolex watches, and making $60,000 a year. They're spending $650 on our system. They're not looking at the price. They're looking at getting the very best." Needless to say, the ad campaign sparked some controversy.
Some of our advertising back then got criticized, or at least it was definitely, provocative for its time.
And one of his first ads, which is the weenie ad, where he calls everybody a weenie if they played the Super Nintendo or the Sega or anything. He said, "Why play with those limp systems? Be a hot dog like the Neo Geo."
Because we knew our engine was stronger. The big dog.
Another ad later was an ad where he had a picture of 2 steel balls on one side, and on top of the steel balls, there was text that said, "You need a set of these to play one of these." And that caused a lot of controversy, and that's what he wanted to do.
It's genius, and for a while, it works. 50,000 systems sold in the first month, and 80,000 copies of Fatal Fury, a $250 game. If you're someone who collects luxury cars and buys designer clothing, have we got the gaming machine for you? Seeing as the core demographic of gamers at the time is 12 to 25-year-old boys, Neo Geo becomes a status symbol in middle schools and high schools around the world. It also becomes a must-have for arcade fighting game enthusiasts. Now they can practice at home and save lots of money on coins, at least for a moment. As the other home consoles start to catch up, the price tag becomes an issue, and SNK starts to make some desperate moves. But first, most people don't have unlimited money. And honestly, healthcare can be really intimidating, especially when you're trying to find a doctor that actually takes your insurance. That's where ZocDoc, this video's sponsor, comes in. Recently, my brother was trying to find a doctor, and ZocDoc helped him out.
I had a tough time finding a doctor with my insurance provider, so I checked out the ZocDoc website, and the ability to compare in-network providers based on time and location and stuff helped me find an appointment within the week, so it was pretty useful for me.
ZocDoc is a free website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. I'm talking about real, in-network appointments with over 100,000 healthcare providers across nearly every specialty, from mental health to dental care, eye care to skin care, and much more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who fit the medical needs you're looking for, and who are highly rated by verified patients. You can even see their actual appointment openings and pick a time that works for you. The best thing is, you don't even have to call. Just a few clicks to instantly book a visit. And the appointments happen fast, like typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. Some are even same day. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/SirW, also linked in the description, to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. Thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring the channel, and now back to the video. It's E3 1994, and Sony's just unveiled the PlayStation. It's got true 3D polygons, CD storage, and load times under 10 seconds. It's SNK's worst nightmare.
Scientists say its effects are mind-boggling. Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Here we have a normal, healthy young man. And here we have a fellow who's been experimenting with PlayStation for only a few minutes.
The price?
$2.99.
Well, that's not good. Just above the price of one Neo Geo game. Mr. Kawasaki watches developers leave in droves for Sony and Capcom. Fortunately, the fighting game community still has their back, but once again it looks like the company's facing certain doom. They still have a response planned. The Neo Geo CD. Loading times are significant. CDs are much cheaper to produce than cartridges, so games are finally down to $50 instead of $200. But there's a catch. They use a 1X CD drive. In other words, it's really slow, and loading screens are everywhere. To top it all off, it still launches at $400, $100 more than the PlayStation. Yet still, with their debt slowly piling up, they don't submit to failure. Over the next 3 years, the PlayStation sells around 20 million units and puts the game industry's transition to 3D into full gear. Then in 1998, SNK takes their shot at a 3D system, the Hyper Neo Geo 64. 4 years too late, it's not even a console, just the insides of one, and it only has 7 games. Their last effort comes 1 year later, Neo Geo Pocket. All they do to market this thing is tell people it's not a Game Boy.
I'm not the boy.
I'm not the boy.
I'm not the boy.
I'm not the boy.
Neo Geo Pocket
Launches 2 years after Pokemon, and despite being black and white, it's the same price as the Game Boy Color. By 2000, their stock price is in free fall, but just when all hope is gone, a pachinko company called Aruz buys SNK. Aruz's business plan: milk the brand with slots, pachinko, maybe some mobile games down the line. Wait, how about an even better idea? Japan's economy is booming, and for some reason everyone's building big, flashy theme parks. Aruz executives see them raking in the cash and decide to toss SNK into the mix. How about an immersive Neo Geo experience like no other? Neo Geo World opens in 2000, and it's got everything. A kidnapping ride, something called Scissors Magic, a quote-unquote quirky virtual haircut experience. Also, it's my pleasure to introduce Band of Friends. Unfortunately, they couldn't have picked a worse time to open. Around the same time, Japan's theme park bubble bursts, and many of the theme parks are abandoned. In the time that SNK has been away from games, total debt, $380 million. Everyone else has blown past them. As a result, in October 2001, SNK files for bankruptcy, and the luxury gaming market is a relic of the past. But wait, 2 months before they went bankrupt, Mr. Kawasaki quietly incorporates a new company, Playmore Corporation. Nobody notices, at first. Then, 8 days after SNK is pronounced dead, a miracle. Playmore bids on SNK's assets in the bankruptcy auction. They win. Everything. Every character. Every franchise. Every line of code. Kawasaki brings back the old team, renames Playmore to SNK Playmore, and starts making games. Each release turns a profit, even 2004's Samurai Shodown 5, which they make for the Neo Geo, 14 years after its release, making it the longest officially supported console ever. After leaving Aruz, SNK pulled out of the pachinko and slot machine market, and Aruz now goes by the name Universal Entertainment. Today, Neo Geo systems and games are some of the most sought after gaming collectibles, and thanks to Mr. Kawasaki, the luxury gaming market lives on.